What do you guys think about last week's race, man? I mean, of course, me being the Sexton fan, I was all excited, and man alive, that poor fella, he can't. I don't know what's going on. I don't, I thought with the win from the week before, he'd be ready to go, and have the confidence, and he's still the fastest guy on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, but just unlucky, I guess.
And he wasn't like he was a schlub, though. I mean, you can't say that he just wasn't as fast as maybe a few other guys, but he was still.
What was it? The second motor, or was it third? Because it was the Triple Crown, but he put a pass on. Who was it? Was it Hunter and Roxon, or was it Roxon and Webb? I can't. No, or Roxon and. Who was it that he passed? But he passed like 2 or 3 people at once, and then he was going to start. I think it was the second motor because I think that's the one that Tomac won, right? Second, because he was starting to reel in Tomac, and then he started casing everything and coming up short, and and then got passed by 2 or 3 more people.
Right.
But I don't understand that, man. I mean, it's got to be a mental thing.
That's his biggest thing, the mental thing. It just seems like it always has been, or has been for the last several years. And, when I was kind of talking down on him the other day, that's more what I was thinking. As far as talent goes, guy's got all the talent in the world. Just something's got to happen. We got to find the right person to unlock that mental block that he has, and to not get beat that way. Because that's what I see with him, is he's that guy that gets beat mentally, and people know they can do it.
Yep.
I thought, like, the 450 race was great. I mean, all of it was just, all 3 motos were exciting as heck. But I thought it was, in a way, I think it was, the whole day was kind of emblematic of the state of the riders. I mean, they all kind of showed exactly who they were. Like, Hunter really impressed me, but it's like, that's kind of what's been impressing me, is that he feels like it doesn't matter who he's racing against. He feels like he can get ahead of them. Right. He doesn't give any ground. He's not the fastest guy on the track a lot of times, but he's always right there. And then he just, there's nobody that seemed to intimidate him. I kind of decided, like, he reminds me a little bit of Hurlings in that way. Like, what is it that Hurlings is so, why is he so great? And it's like, doesn't matter the situation. Hurlings is he's not going to be intimidated, and he's going to give you as much as he possibly can, and he's probably not going to make a mistake. And that's kind of where we're seeing Hunter develop into. And it's going to be fun to watch, because if he keeps on this path, look out, everybody. But then Cooper Webb did a Cooper Webb thing, just smart race to a win.
Yeah.
Oh. Kenny was blazing fast all day. Should have won, could have won, should have won, except for Cooper Webb.
Right.
And then Eli was just. I do totally get and I'm a Chase Sexton fan. I used to be a Honda guy, and I get that he's the fastest guy in the track, except I think we can say that about Eli more often than not. Eli was the fastest guy that day. And had it not been for a really weird thing, he would have just destroyed everybody. We wouldn't be talking about anybody else.
Yeah. See, one thing
I heard an Eli thing now too, to have weird things happen.
Oh, it does. You were talking about Hunter. You don't think anybody intimidates him, and I don't know if it's an intimidation, but him and Anderson and Jet have had a beef in the past, and I noticed whenever he comes up on Anderson to pass, he doesn't push the issue. He kind of gives him a wide berth. So I feel like Anderson's kind of in his crawl,
And
I think
good.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I think you probably have a better point than me. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think Hunter, just like we were saying a few weeks ago, I think you learn every rider you're riding with, and he rides to me, he rides smart. It's just...
He's smart rider.
Give Anderson his space, find a better spot,
Yeah, I totally agree.
And I think it totally goes to the point that you were making last week about how you treat everybody different. Even,
Yeah.
even at this age when you race, you treat every rider different because you kind of know their personalities, their tendencies, what they may or may not do. And, that's just part of that thing that I think we're witnessing right there is he knows Anderson's Anderson. And it was kind of like that pass that Eli put on Anderson last week.
Yeah.
He knows Anderson's going to be there, so it's like, this is going to happen, and you're going to make it stick because it's Anderson. Because if you don't,
and Anderson was cool about it. He was like, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's how he races, and that's that mentality that he has, and he doesn't think it's out of the norm. So
what do you think about poor old Austin Fortner, man? The guy breaks his hand on press day, media day.
Jeez, some people they just seem like that's how things go for him. It's like why that is, I don't know, but kind of crazy.
Yeah. And some of it, I mean, you got to start feeling bad for the guy, but then I also feel like it maybe get back to that thing we talked about not that long ago about how if you're off your pace because you've been off the bike or whatever, like it takes time. And I don't think he gives it enough time. And it's not just being healthy. It's just like, let yourself get all that symbiotic relationship with the bike back. And I'm afraid he just pushes it, Trey Kennard was always famous for that. Like
exactly what I was going to say is one of those people that
right.
I don't know why it is that those certain people, they get stuck in that thing, but go ahead. Exactly where I was going with that.
Yeah. And they're both from Oklahoma, right?
I think so. Fortner might be from Missouri. I'm not sure. It's either Oklahoma or Missouri. I'm not sure.
I'd have to look that up.
We should check the recovery habits of Robbie Renard and see if it's a developed thing, because they all ride at his place. So.
Right.
It's a shame, because he seems like such a nice guy. I was up at Daytona last year, and I saw him, just really interacting with the fans, like not even at the track. We were having breakfast at a place, and I saw, people coming up and getting him. And it's probably a pain in the butt right before you're getting ready to go race, and you're with your family, and you're trying to eat. And, the guy had a big smile on his face and was, obliging everyone that came up and wanted an autograph, and I thought, man, what a cool guy.
It's crazy how some people can do that. You know what I mean? Some people are so good at multitasking on that thing. And I was thinking that exact thought at the banquet. Just to shift gears really quick, it's like I was thinking to myself, I wish I could be like some other people where they can focus on this or focus on that, and I can do that in some areas, but I felt like at the banquet, it was like my mind was like, I got to do this, and so I felt like I wasn't giving people my full time. And I was just thinking, it's crazy how some people can, they're preparing for a big event, whatever it is, a race or whatever, and they don't have those focus issues. Like me, my focus would be like, it's on the race, so I'll talk to you, but really, you're not really a nuisance, but I want to be as polite as I can to you, but you're not getting my 100% because my mind's here. Where you find some of those racers where they can actually, give people that full 100%, and he's one of them, I think.
Yeah, and I wonder too if it's like your like event managers, like there's something about like a race, a banquet. Like there's certain people that can do stuff like that, and it seems to work, and yet you just know 9 out of 10 people, if they take something on like that, because and a race is a good example. There's going to be 40 things go wrong in the space of 5 hours, and you have to knock each one of them down. And if you don't knock all those down, the whole thing falls apart. One of them can destroy the whole thing.
Right.
And yet, and so I think it takes a certain amount of focus, because it would be tough to be like at a banquet or running a banquet or running a race and then take 10 minutes out to do this other thing when it just doesn't work.
Right.
But
you know what you can do next? Get somebody else to to announce the winners, and you just hand out the trophies and shake the hands and
There you go.
all of that.
That's exactly where I was going, because that's what we were gonna do with Chad, and then he got there a little bit late, and I hadn't talked to him about it since earlier in the season, and so he just thought I changed the game plan. The whole time I'm walking back and forth, I'm thinking, why didn't we have Chad do this? And anyway, you're going to be doing that, Chip. So next year, you're going to be doing the MC, and I hope, and
I'll do whatever you need.
that'd be awesome. I think that'd be. I mean, you're going to be like the announcer now, so I think that'd be just fitting. So, but absolutely love to hear you say it, because that's what I want. That's where I think it needs to go.
He's the
What's that?
What's that?
He's the voice of Gypsy Cross.
Yeah, voice of Gypsy Moto now.
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great.
Oh yeah.
And I think,
so the two,
go ahead.
Getting to the 250s, man, it's going to be a snooze fest till we get back east. I mean,
terrible.
Deegan's got everybody covered. There's nobody. Every weekend, the announcers like, I think that DeFrancisco's got something for him. No, nobody's got anything for him.
No, it's.
I mean, he can come from the back of the pack. He can, I mean, this guy's just on a whole nother level.
I know it's. You're watching it and you're like, man, I wish they had a markup system where you could make him go to the 450s now or something. Because it's just like,
have two starts, all right? Drop one gate and let everybody go, and then he has to wait, a few seconds and go. I don't know, something to make it a little more exciting.
A backwards dead engine start for Hayden, and then drop the gate.
Yeah. He has to have his bike on a stand and run over GP start. Yeah. But it's exciting though to think about this summer. How's he going to stack up against the other guys outdoors?
That is going to be fun to see. It really is. I mean, I think there's a lot of theories there, but it's going to be fun to see how that goes, because, we'll find out. Can you be that quasi-arrogant and then still back it up? Because that's what he's going to have to do. I mean, that's really, when he enters the 450 class, he's going to have to back it up, or he is going to, while they're great at handling social media, it's going to be a social media storm for him that all I can say is he better be able to back it up.
Yeah. The whole 250 class is a mystery to me, because, I don't understand how it is that he just rides forward and nobody even tries to slow him down. And I personally don't, his lap times don't show that he's just dominating. But if you think about, the first race of the season, he finished McAdoo's race. He took him out. And yet, him and McAdoo were on the track how many times? Well, every race. And McAdoo never did one thing to even get in his way. Never mind taking his wheel out. It's just a mystery to me. I just don't get it.
Does he have the others so intimidated? Do you think they're really that intimidated by him, or what do you think?
Maybe, and I kind of, I mean, that's probably it. Then I'm like, it sure looks like it. And then I'm like, if you're going to be that intimidated by anybody on the track, you might as well just follow your way to the back right away. And I do kind of think that's what's happening.
Right.
If I was Kitchen, there's no way he'd go by me without, I might not take him out, but I'm going to definitely be in his way.
For sure.
And I mean, he crossed over on Kitchen in this, in the whoops, it just kind of ran Kitchen right into the bales.
Right.
And he runs somebody off the track every time he's on the track.
Right.
It's just, it's beyond me.
Well,
I kind of feel like everybody's racing for second at this point, And I don't think it's the bad boy thing that's intimidating him. I think he's just that good. I mean, he's got them covered, and they know it. I mean, whenever you you line up for a race and you're out there and you're like, oh, great, this person's out there, he's way faster than me. Yeah, that's all, but you're out racing and, in our level, of course, we're just having fun. But, those guys, they're not idiots. They got to realize that, they go out for qualifying and, one of the guys will beat him in a qualifier and he goes right back out and beats them. And then they'll come up.
He has not had top qualifier. He hasn't had top qualifier all three. I think he got it. This time was the first time. I think Hymas got it its first race, right?
I'm not sure.
Once. So I kind of disagree. No, I mean, I think, yeah, he's the fastest at given times. But I also think if you're that much faster, why do you clean everybody out every time you go by?
I don't know. Is it part of his persona, just being the bad boy?
Well,
here's
what I think on that one is, and maybe you can relate to this, maybe you can't, but there's been certain people I've rode with and raced with over the years that, were just kind of given everything and told they were the best and believed they were the best and just always thought that, the world revolves around them and, they don't do it out of being a bad person. They just were never taught anything else. And, he's been developed that way from the beginning. He's never really had any major bad things happen to him. Started jumping things that were just crazy at a young age. So he's got the belief that I can do this. I mean, things that almost nobody has ever done at his age, some of the freestyle stuff he was doing at a young age. Coming from a parent that has done that his whole life too, and then his whole racing career, it's been that thing where when he's racing, and this is the part I was going to say maybe you can relate to, there's those people that ride a wide track just because they don't have that awareness around them that there's anybody else that's as fast as them. And so I've had those guys that just are always taking your lane. They're always there, not because they're trying to ride a wide lane, but they believe the world revolves around them. And the only way those people ever get taught is when somebody like flat cleans them out kind of a thing and does it consistently. And those people, a lot of times it's hard to ever get to give them that hit because they're going so hard and they're so committed that most time if you give them that hit, you're going down with them. So it just never happens to them. And so that becomes part of their riding style.
But if you think about like with Deegan, what are we doing right now? We're talking about it.
Oh yeah.
All right. And that's the whole, I think, MO there is, that from, the different podcasts and stuff I've read and people that know him more closely with him said that he's actually a really super nice, intelligent, great guy, that this is all just a persona. This is like his WWE persona, and a lot of people like the bad boy, and it brings in fans and it garners a lot of attention. Like I said, what are we doing right now? We're talking about him, we're talking more about all the bad stuff he does instead of all the good stuff he does.
And I'm not necessarily even saying it's bad. I think
right.
his mental state is, I'm going to win. I am the best, and that's where he lives. And as a coach, there's a lot of athletes that I've had and people that have been on my teams and stuff that I wanted them to think that way. And I tried to develop them to think that way. And honestly, for me with Seth growing up, that was the hardest thing that I ever had to deal with was making him feel like he deserved to be in the A class. He always felt like he had to earn his stripes to be there. And I remember those the first year it was like, well, we'd have the speed, but if somebody would come up on him that'd been in there for 4 or 5 years, he welcomed them by sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And
played too nice.
Yeah, too nice, and yet he hadn't had that before that time. And I've seen that in a lot of other sports with people that sometimes they just need to have that, get to that point where, no, you deserve to be here. And in that kind of mentality. And Hayden embodies that. And I think that's part of, because of that, he wills, his future into reality by his true belief in that. So
Right.
And getting back to the Chase Sexton thing, that's what Chase, I think, is lacking.
for
I
sure.
think if he had a little more Deegan swag, then maybe he might, I don't know, maybe he wouldn't be making these mental errors like he's making.
Yeah, that one's just a tough one. There's so many things there that need to happen. His confidence, he's almost like that guy that has made enough mistakes and things that he expects himself, like he goes to sleep at night and he's dreaming about racing. He's dreaming about crashing or dreaming about getting past or whatever, rather than, having the dream where you're jumping and you fly clear across the whole motocross track and land on the, halfway
In the
across.
parking lot.
Yeah. So